What you want?
You're listening to The War Report, a wrestling and relationships podcast with your host, Vince Barry. The War Report is brought to you by TagMeADate.com, where wrestling night is date night. Sign up now, and your first month is free. All right. Welcome, everybody. We are live in public, if you will, on a Tuesday night, Daddy. Tuesday, August 11th of 2015. I want to thank you for once again joining us for The War Report, brought to you by TagMeADate.com. You might notice a new face here in the room today, and we'll get to him in just a second. But what we'll do here is we'll go around the room, kind of say hello to everybody, check in. It has been a couple weeks. Steve had his wedding anniversary, and I was on vacation, so we decided to postpone the show, push it back a week. There's a lot to discuss, though. Because we did that, we have quite a bit to go over. So we'll start with the usual, because he is first. I don't know if it's alphabetical or what. Maybe it's just by last name. I'm not quite sure. But Eric, how are things down in your neck of the woods?
Good. It's nice to be first once in a while. But you are right. We do have a lot to go over. A lot has happened in that 2-week period. And we're all anxious to discuss things.
Absolutely. I'm gonna skip our new guy for a second because I'm not gonna make the introduction because I think the introduction is better suited for the man in charge here. But I will go to Stu. Big Stu, how are you? And how's the helicopter that is inside of your laptop today?
It's a pain in the ass. I'm still trying to get my mom's Best Buy card, but otherwise tired as hell from working. And by the way, Vince, great job up at Hudson Valley, yo. That was great.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
It was fun.
Wrestling Under the Stars, our last two stops. Well, last two stops in August were in Wappingers Falls and Lowell. And then we did a show in Bethany over the weekend, but that wasn't part of the baseball stadium tour. Our last stadium show is actually going to be sometime in September, and we're going to Williamsport, Pennsylvania. I forget what the name of the team is, the Clippers or something like that. And they're our last stop, and we're going to have DiBiase there. DiBiase, Lawler, and Mickey James. So that should be a fun show. Thank you, though. It's a lot of fun, and I had to... We did a 10-bell salute for Roddy Piper each night, and I had to do a thing before the show each night. So that was tough, but I think everybody responded well to it.
You know, there was one thing that I don't think you would have noticed because you were so engulfed in what you were doing in the ring. But I'm sitting up top with Stacy and Stu and Justin, and Ric Flair came out. You did his introduction. Flair came out and he cut his promo about Piper. And just as he mentioned Piper's name, one firework popped in the upper right hand of the sky above your head. Only one. Nothing else went off. Not one. And wow. It was just kind of eerie. And I looked at Stacy and I was like, "Wow, did you see that?" And she's like, "Yeah, I did." Like, it was just very eerie, but in a good way, almost like, Piper was watching the show, and it was, but yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to throw that out to you.
That's great. And so, Steve, how was your anniversary? I saw pictures on Facebook and all that from your night out there.
Yeah, well, we started a tradition that for our anniversary we go into the city and we go to Uncle Jack's Steakhouse. Nice. The owner has that show, Restaurant Stakeout, on Food Network, which is how we found about it about 4 years ago. And so now every year we go. They know we're coming. They even reach out to. I know you're good. They actually, you want to talk customer service, and this guy in Restaurant Stakeout promotes customer service. They call us and say, "Hey, your anniversary's coming up. Should we count you in?" kind of thing. Nice.
Figure that was appropriate, but they know you're coming, and they bake you a cake and all that shit. They're like into it.
We do get a free dessert.
Nice.
Or last year we got a free bottle of wine. So they mix it up, and the food is excellent. So we had a nice night. It was nice, and then just great things keep happening for TagMeADate, which I'll go into at the end of the show. But we got a lot of good stuff going on.
All right, and Steve, since we do have our new guest here, I think because you're the man in charge, and you brought him on board, it's only appropriate that you give the introduction. So I give the floor to you.
Yeah, so Ryan is going to be joining the team as much as he can, but we're very excited to have him. Ryan is a friend to TagMeADate, and he is going to be doing his best to see about helping us build an app, which has been in high demand. Everyone's been asking, so we got some big things potentially coming in the pipeline. And Ryan, it's great to have you on the show, bud.
It's great to be on the show. Been wanting to do a
Absolutely.
wrestling podcast for as long as I've been a wrestling fan and knew what a podcast was.
Well, now you got your chance.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
And
Appreciate it.
we certainly have a lot to talk about too. So this is you
Oh,
picked
there's
a
a
good week
ton
to
to go.
jump in.
Can't
So
wait.
what we'll do here is I'll get my little soundboard thingy out because I have to play the Freeman 5 song because we have 5 topics that we go over most weeks that are curated by our resident Jew, Eric Friedman, and we call them the Freeman 5. And the theme song is a little something like this.
And you're gonna get a 5 count. Do you hear that? You're gonna get a 5 count.
20 ain't enough, man. I need 5.
Hey, we want some Freeman 5. It's all you, Eric.
Thank you, and I know you love Big E's music.
I love Big E's music. I'm so glad we get to use it.
We're doing it in his honor. So anyway, we got to talk about Raw because that's fresh in our minds. Last night, we got 2 huge things coming up: NXT Takeover Brooklyn, and the night after in Brooklyn, SummerSlam, and we also have to discuss the unfortunate passing of Roddy Piper, and we're going to discuss Superfly's latest stuff going on with him health-wise, and think let's definitely get to it.
Well, let's see here. Trying to think about what we should go over first. All of them fairly relevant topics. I mean, let's start with the bad news first and build our way up. Big loss in Roddy Piper because, I mean, not only did he work the WWE stuff, he worked indie shows still. He still toured. He was going around with his son, Colt, and Colt's a couple years younger than I am, and he was training. He is a wrestler. I don't know what his career, what's going to happen in terms of his career now. But I know he was touring with his dad, doing, learning what he could while being on the road. So they had like a little thing going where like, Roddy would come out and cut a promo, and then a heel would come out and kind of talk some shit, and then he'd say, well, I can't fight anymore because I'm old, but I have somebody that can do my fighting for me. Here's my son. And then Colt would come out and they would have a match, and the kid would go over. And that was cool because he wasn't one of those guys where he wanted to come in and when he was on a show and make it the Roddy Piper show. He never tried to just push himself into a bigger storyline or politic or throw his weight around. He was one of those guys that gave back. When you say giving back to the business, he was always there in the locker room. If somebody was cutting a promo on camera, he would give them pointers. If they were going to go out there and have a segment, he'd work with the guy. He wouldn't just let them flounder out there. So he was really just a good resource and a good guy because he wasn't gonna bullshit you. He wasn't gonna dick you around. If you asked him a question, he had the time to answer. He was gonna answer it for you. So not only did he contribute to wrestling in a huge way by being a wrestler and all the matches that he put on in the segments that he was a part of that are part of history now. with all the Piper's Pit segments and the coconut and the shaving of the Haiti Kid, and Hulk Hogan and Andre meeting on Piper's Pit to set up WrestleMania 3, that whole deal. I mean, he's the dog collar match, him and Greg Valentine, where he popped his eardrum and lost the equilibrium in his ear, and he was bleeding off the side of his face. He was a legend. There was one of a kind. He went out there not as the biggest, not as the strongest or the baddest, but it was in the way he carried himself and the way that he spoke to people and connected with the audience. And whether he wanted to get you to hate him or he wanted to get you to love him, he could do either of them very well. And that's a big loss that we won't have somebody like that around anymore. And selfishly for me, I don't get to work with him anymore either. So overall, just a huge loss to the wrestling community. And I'll leave it open for anyone else to throw their thoughts out there.
Yeah, it's. Go ahead, Steve.
No, go ahead.
Okay. This one hit me hard, and especially to lose Dusty and Roddy in a 6-week period.
Yeah.
This was hard. Piper was one of my guys, one of my idols. I mean, I told this story on Facebook, but not everybody knows. I was 4 years old. This is like 1984. My parents asked me if I wanted to play a musical instrument, and I said the bagpipes because of Roddy Piper. And even then, like, I liked, as much as I was a Hulkamaniac too, I liked the bad guys also. And Piper was the epitome, and he had this essence about him, like as a heel and as a face as well. Just like anything he did, he had this glow about him, that as bad as he was on screen, like, he was such a good guy behind the scenes. Guys like Ric Flair will mention that all the time, and his friends in the industry and such. But yeah, a big loss, and it's still a tough pill to swallow, I think.
Absolutely,
brother.
It's a shame the turmoil with the Stone Cold podcast that was right before his death, though. Like, potentially, does anyone know if he lost his Legends deal? I heard reports that he lost his Legends deal.
He had, I think.
Yeah, I don't know for certain. I mean, you hear it, but the only people who would be able to really comment on that are either WWE or Piper himself, and we're not going to get much out of him. So
yeah, WWE's not going to come out right now and go, "Oh yeah, we fired him a few days ago, and we're sorry."
I don't know. It's just.
But that might be a case where they'd put it back on the books because he's dead now. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did 4 shows with Northeast Wrestling where Piper was a part of the show. And even the very first time I went up to him, I had probably a 10-minute conversation with him about TagMeADate and what we were all about. And he was just the nicest, sweetest guy about it. Loved the idea. Thought I was nuts. But in Piper's way, and he was just such a great guy, and he took 10 minutes of his time. The second time, which was months later, he remembered me. And, you think about someone like Roddy Piper who meets millions of people and, does so many different things. He remembered me, and he remembered TagMeADate, and he took more time to talk to me, and this carried over, and not to by any means say we were friends or anything like that, but we got friendly with each other, and he would remember me, and you don't get that a lot, and he was just the greatest guy, and I mean, his history will stand on its own forever, and another beauty of the network, because you'll get to see as much Rowdy as you want. And I do want to say, whether or not WWE did in fact terminate his Legends deal, they did a phenomenal job on that Raw. At the beginning, I thought they did a great job. And whether you love him or you hate him, Miz did an awesome job as well. And, to acknowledge there would be no Miz TV, and there would have been no Cutting Edge, and there would have been no Jericho without the Piper's Pit. So, kudos to them. I think they handled it well. They did a great job, and it's just another fucking loss to this business way too soon.
Absolutely.
Especially out of nowhere. Who would have saw Roddy Piper dying?
No, I mean, he was young.
Yeah, but you know what, though?
Very young.
If you listen to our last show, the week before last, Vince, we had a conversation about Piper on the show, and Vince had pointed out that something sounded off, and he didn't seem like himself, and that somebody should get him checked out, and not 3 days later.
Yeah. And it was just from a weird interview, and it wasn't the usual Roddy Piper interview. He kind of went off a little more than he usually does, and that was it's strange.
Because he had some comments about the whole Hogan situation, and there was a couple, and then this is very eerie too. If you remember, he did that HBO special a long time ago.
Yeah.
In that, there's one part in that interview where he says, "I'm not going to make it to 65."
Yeah.
And that's very chilling.
Well, look at the Warrior. Look at what the Warrior said on Raw the night he died.
That was basically him saying goodbye. It was so eerie, and we lost him the next day after Raw.
But if you listen to certain people, they say you just know. When it's about to end. So maybe there is something to it, I mean, to think he said that so long ago, but he did, in fact, say that he wasn't going to make it. So, I mean, if that's the case, I'm going to say it right here on the show. I'm living to 110.
Yeah, same.
I'm going to take Fry's approach. Due to deniability, I'm immortal.
Nice. Stu, you got anything you want to say about Piper?
We also got to remember he was hell of a mouth on that microphone too.
Yes.
He was
one of
incredible on the mic.
One of the best.
That's for sure.
It sucks, man. It really does. But what are you gonna do? I mean, we all have his memories in our heart, so.
Yeah, and we're never gonna lose that.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I went back and watched the Piper. The retrospect, not the retrospective, but the documentary they did in 2006. It used to be the DVD box set, but now you can just stream the documentary on the network. He did a lot of stuff that you couldn't get away with nowadays.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Dude, the first one that comes to mind was his feud with Bad News Brown, and he painted half his body black, and it was so fucking funny. But could you imagine the riots that would take place now?
Yo, he'd be fired.
Of course.
He would get murdered.
Yeah. Somebody would. What if he called somebody a monkey?
Oh wow!
On television and threw fruit at them?
Yeah, it's true.
WWE headquarters would be burning.
Yeah.
You're not kidding.
That was way before they were a publicly traded company.
He said something. He said about Mr. T. He wears more chains than his ancestors, and I'm just like, you can't say that. That's not good. That's not okay.
He hated Mr. T, man.
He did. I think in 1983 you could get away with saying some shit like that, but no.
I just saw this thing on the network where it's it's Piper,
yes,
Paul Orndorff, and Mean Gene sitting down to dinner, and it's one of the funniest, really enjoyable things that I've seen in a while.
Dinner for Three is
really
awesome.
Really made me smile.
They
Piper's
said there's more. Yeah. There's a whole season of that show coming out, so I'm hoping that they keep. That was a good first one to put out, regardless of whether Piper passed away or not. That would be the best first episode you could put out, because those three guys worked together forever, and they had so many stories. And then Mean Gene, who we met a couple of times. Oh, Mean Gene!
In Providence, it was so funny. he had talked to Stu earlier in the day, and then he walks by our table, and in his classic voice, "Give me a break." We
were all sitting there like, "That was awesome."
Oh, it was so great. What a fucking awesome guy.
If you want to talk about like the other bad news, Jimmy Snuka is dealing with what is it? Stomach cancer, they say.
Stomach cancer.
And
that's crazy.
We met Jimmy in Providence, and it was one of the sweetest guys that you could ever meet. He was really awesome. It was cool to meet another idol of ours that, you know.
Did he try to murder you?
Meant so much to the business. Yeah, despite that, you know. But, you know, obviously we wish him well with his recovery.
Yeah, I mean, I'd never wish cancer on somebody. That's fucked up.
It's just to get that news. I mean, that shit broke the day after Piper. It's like one thing after another. You know what I mean? It's just, when is it going to stop? You know, we just had the honor and privilege of meeting Snuka when we were in Rhode Island. You know, and I will say this. The first thing I said is, God, he looks so skinny. So, you know, maybe it was starting around then. I don't know, but thoughts and prayers. You know, it's another one. It's just another one.
What's the phrase? Death comes in threes.
Yeah, I said the same shit. I was like, this shit happens in threes. What's gonna happen next? And then Snuka's shit came out, and I was like, oh, here we go.
Well, Hulkamania died, so that was the third one.
What's this Hulk?
Right? Yeah.
I don't know who you're talking about.
You guys remember when Piper Mania was running wild in 1984?
Oh, he was.
Well, it's just so unfortunate that they're gonna try. I really hope they don't try and just whitewash Hulk Hogan's involvement.
I hope he's back for 32, so we don't lose out on 10 WrestleMania moments that can't be shown on the flashback.
Oh my God! If they try to do a recap video for WrestleMania, they're gonna have to cut out the first 8 years of the show. It's like
at least the top big moments with Hogan, Andre, Hogan, and Warrior.
WrestleMania 9 ended with Bret Hart winning the title. They just cut the footage. What if they did that? What if they just took the end of that match and cut it up, and they just ended it with a splice of Bret?
Just Photoshop Bret's head on Hogan's body. It works.
Oh, this big tanned Bret Hart just posing.
I don't know when Bret got that tan, but he has some pretty good muscles.
He said earlier in the night, that night, WrestleMania 9, that he was a Hulkamaniac, and that him and Hogan spoke before the big match. That show was such a mess.
They pulled Twin Magic.
Yes!
Did you notice also, if we're talking about Hogan and the racism stuff, did you notice that during that interview backstage at WrestleMania 9, what he called Yokozuna? Did you hear that?
Did he call him a Jap?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's not too horrible.
No, but I'm thinking then, I'm like, did he just say that?
Yep, yes he did.
And meanwhile, Yoko was Samoan anyway, but whatever.
Yeah.
What about he tore the Iraqi flag in half one time? It was during his feud with Sergeant Slaughter, and he was in the ring, and he took the flag, and he, ripped it in half. I was like, oh, that's even if you're at war with a country, that's
during wartime, yeah, that's especially
not good. Yeah, okay, so hold on. We're gonna bring up something that Steve wanted us to somehow bring into the show anyway, and I'll bring it up here because this is some bullshit. They have Colonel Mustafa and General Adnan in WWE 2K16, but they're not gonna have Hulk Hogan. How? How can you have General Adnan and Colonel Mustafa in the game and not have Hulk Hogan? Who are they going to feud with? Just the Ultimate Warrior?
Warrior versus the three of them?
Yeah, it's just going to be a 3-on-1 handicap match, the main event of WrestleMania.
They'll take Sid and put Sid as his teammate.
Oh,
I got it. They are going to take Hogan out, and they are going to replace him with the blue thing. What was he?
Mr. America.
Mr. America. They'll replace him as Mr. America.
I'm not really Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, right. With the big yellow mustache. Brother wasn't Hogan.
Shh, brother. Secret.
Oh my god.
So stupid.
I was gonna just guess John Cena, but you know.
Yeah, I was just gonna, and his name is John Cena. I love those. I share those on Facebook all day.
I love the radio thing that.
Right, the prank call.
Yeah, that was.
They have now. They have them now. Like, I think I mentioned it the last time on the air. Look up Unexpected Cena on Facebook. It's a page, and it's just videos, and it's like Heisenberg will be saying, you know, a man opens his door and gets shot, and you think I'm the one opening the door. I'm the one who knocks. And then right before he says, I am the danger, he goes, I am John Cena. It's the guy from the prank call. That prank call going, and his name is John Cena. And they find different ways to put it into pop culture contexts. And
that's hilarious.
I can't get enough of them. I just can't get enough of them. But so we mentioned WWE 2K16, Steve. I'm still bitter about the fact that I suck at this last one, and I'm hoping that I'm better at this next one.
Well, I happen to be quite good at this one, if I say so myself, and I am very excited to hear that a lot of what I felt was missing in this game will be coming back. For me, loving to create my characters over and over and develop their entrances and all that, one of the big things is that you can now use your own music again, which is huge. They're bringing a lot more of the creation options back, which is great, and they're changing a little bit of the gameplay with reversing, so it will no longer be a reverse fest. And there are articles out there you can read with all this information. It sounds great. It sounds like they're really doing what they need to get it great again. This past one I thought was very disappointing, but the graphics were amazing. And the disappointments weren't the gameplay. It was just what we were able to do. So I think they're going to solve that problem this year, and I'm pretty damn excited, and I got my $5 on it, and I'll be getting it at midnight.
I'd love them to bring back Superstar Threads, too. That was just the thing that I liked. Because I think it's boring having them come out in the same outfit all the time. I want, you know.
No, we need the SmackDown Mall. Bringing it back to the N64.
Oh, that
GM mode.
That was the greatest.
That game was awesome.
But I think this might have an even stronger NXT presence too.
They need it. NXT's getting big.
Yeah. I found it. Why was this the catchiest song in the entire game?
That's so funny.
No Mercy 64.
I love that game.
I could jump. Oh, what?
I remember playing like hundreds of Royal Rumbles to unlock the last character, which was Ho from the Godfather.
Oh my God, they had so many of those. Like between No Mercy and WrestleMania 2000, there were a ton of unlockable characters. I remember like Mae Young. Oh, I bought a copy of that game pre-owned, like it was rented out at like a Blockbuster or something, and then I bought it. The person had modified the costumes, and I knew the person was weird because what they did was they took the Mae Young character, put her in a singlet, and then colored the singlet flesh-colored. so it looked like naked Mae Young.
That's
I'm like,
hilarious.
this is a sick motherfucker. Turn this game back into a blockbuster with a naked 70-year-old woman on it.
That's hilarious.
That is actually pretty funny. What better way to return a wrestling than...
And of course, in the first time through the game, it's like, oh, I want to see all the characters that are there. What the hell is that?
I mean, yeah, I used to give Rikishi and Too Cool's entrances to random people, and it was hysterical.
Yes.
In fact, there's one of Brock Lesnar and Rusev doing the Funkadactyls one.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
And it's really funny. With the pom-poms and all.
I actually like the one where Triple H does Grandmaster Sexy's entrance, where he dances down to the ring and does the shovel dance. And there's a video of that, and it's just like one of those things that somebody posts when it's like, oh man, Triple H beats Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and it's just a picture of him dancing and burying him with the shovel.
That's hilarious.
What else we
got Raw. Well, we got Raw, and I'm gonna say for 3 hours, and I always complain about the 3-hour Raws. I was into Raw all 3 hours.
Wow.
I actually thought it was one of the better Raws I've seen in a while, especially without Brock Lesnar or Undertaker or anything like that. Orton put on a hell of a show last night.
That match was phenomenal.
That triple threat with Cesaro, Owens, and Orton was phenomenal from start to finish, and the finish of that match, that was a great sequence. It was money, and Seth Rollins, Orton, phenomenal match. That RKO at the end was fucking awesome, and then of course it ended in typical fashion, which, I mean, the only thing that pissed me off is there is no fucking way you can convince me that the referee did not have enough time to ring that bell and cash in that money in the bank. Right. The ref was almost arguing with him like, no, you're not cashing in. What the fuck is that? And then them saying, oh, he didn't cash in. That was poorly executed, and it did not come off across that.
I hate those will they, won't they cash-ins. It just ruins, for me it ruins the gimmick, because then it's like, okay, you already teased it once.
I would have preferred Sheamus to cash in, but then once the bell rings, then Orton,
I would love for him to lose and just not have the fucking thing anymore.
He shouldn't have won the damn thing in the first place.
There was only, in my eyes, there was only one guy that should have won it, and his name is Dean fucking Ambrose. Period. Dean Ambrose, future of the company.
I agree. But I will say Raw, start to finish, was great. The women's matches were great. Just everything about it. I thought it was booked well, and it kept my attention all 3 hours. So I was very happy with Raw. The crowd was great. Even the bullshit with Stardust and this Green Arrow dude. I mean, I could give a flying fuck about this match, but I will say this: the Green Arrow got up out of the crowd and into the ring like somebody that's done it 1,000,000 times over.
Apparently he does his own stunts for the show.
Yeah, he's in shape, man.
Yeah, he did a great job, doing it with Stardust, and I am happy that they're making it a tag thing with Neville. So at least we get to see Neville do his thing, which is always a plus.
Green Arrow, Red Arrow.
Yeah, there you go. And I thought his promo in the back with Triple H, I thought he did very well. So he was convincing. So
yeah, I love how they put over how tough wrestling is. Yeah. In that promo.
Yeah. So I was very happy with Raw.
Usually when they have a celebrity come in, it's like, fucking Kevin Federline. And he comes in and jobs out the WWE champion, or like Mr. T comes in and looks good, or like
or it's
Mayweather comes in and looks good,
or it's what's his face coming in and calling it Summerfest.
Oh, Jeremy Piven.
Oh, that was bad.
But usually they come in and do this stuff that makes them look tough and the wrestlers look phony.
But
and at least this time
they go to this guy's Facebook page. He's been a huge wrestling fan for a long time, kind of like the like Hugh Jackman, like that kind of thing. Like he was a big fan.
Yeah, no, Hugh Jackman was, you know, if he ever decided to not do movies anymore and be a multimillionaire, he could probably make the transition really well.
Like when he punched out Dolph Ziggler that time, or
yeah, that was fun. Remember when Zack Ryder was over for like 2 weeks?
Yeah,
it was during that time. And then Ronda Rousey, man, like she knocked out that girl in what was it, 34 seconds?
Yeah, 34 seconds.
And she's
that ass.
I feel like when she retires from UFC,
well, she already there was an interview that came out today that they asked her, does she see herself having a career in the WWE when she retires from UFC? And she said, absolutely. So I think she's already got it set in her mind that when she's done with UFC, she's going there.
I think that's going to legitimately come in and break the Bella Twins' arms in real life.
Well, she could. I mean, she
and then just like do that, and then get them off television forever and ever, and then she can be the Brock Lesnar of the women's division.
I wanted to see
that's probably how
Karma
she
do
should be
that.
booked.
All right, too many at once. Both of you have to say it again, and then come across.
I said I wanted to see Karma do that to the Bellas, but that storyline never came to fruition.
Right, the continuity.
Because Karma finally got her opportunity and then got knocked up.
And then apparently was hard to work with, and
you know what? So I heard that she was hard to work with in TNA, but I never heard that in WWE. Now, granted, she wasn't there very long.
Yeah.
But there was also a lot of racist bullshit going on in TNA, which is one of the reasons why she was hard to work with, because she didn't take any bullshit. You know, like Bubba the Love Sponge, for example, talking shit.
Oh my God, yeah. I loved that she knocked his fat ass out.
Yeah, she did, and she busted him open.
Hard way. Yeah. Speaking of developmental people and all that stuff, I guess the transition from the TNA to WWE. Just tip of the hat to my buddy Eddie Bandito, who has made the jump. He is signed with developmental. I heard from a dirt sheet, and I didn't ask him because it's his this is his path to take. I don't want to I'm not gonna get into all up in this business. A dirt sheet said that they hired him to be a referee rather than a wrestler, which I think on one hand is a dire waste of a very brilliant wrestler, because he's a very good lucha style wrestler. But on the other hand, I think he would be an absolute asset to their officiating team because he has that experience, and I think he could be their lucha referee for when they've got the Spanish guys in the ring. Like maybe they're going to bring in more guys from Mexico, and they need somebody who can communicate in Spanish with them, and have that referee there to kind of direct traffic. And I think he would be perfect for that.
And being a lucha-style wrestler, he can always throw on a mask and do double duty.
Exactly. And Ricardo did that.
Right. And at the end of the day, you want to get your foot in the door. Whether you're a janitor or you're a fucking referee, you're in.
Absolutely.
And he can show on the off time what he can really do. And I'm pretty confident that he'll get his opportunity because he is that good. And we're very happy for him as well. I mean, that's just awesome.
Yeah, he's a very good guy, and I'm glad he got his opportunity. So, well, I guess we'll roll on with the NXT thing because I have the best girlfriend in the world, and she bought tickets to that thing, and then it was sold out. So we are going to Brooklyn.
Where's my ticket?
Why don't you ask Stacy? I got a text one morning, and Alexis says, "Hey, do you want me to get tickets to that NXT thing?" And I'm like, "Just the bear shit in the woods, man? Yeah, let's do this thing."
But see, that's when she should have been like, "And we got to get Steve a ticket too."
Hard out.
You're going into business for yourself over there.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to do it. Man, yeah, no, shit was just too tight, and we couldn't go this year. I'm very disappointed. We're gonna be in Brooklyn for a bar party with CSR. I encourage everyone to come if you can. It's gonna be from 2 to 5 at a place just a couple blocks away from the Barclays Center. So we're going to probably
Sunday, or is that?
That's on SummerSlam Day, 2 to 5.
Nice.
So yeah, so we're gonna come in for that, and then we're gonna try and get back right in time for when the show starts. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. I'm looking forward to the NXT Takeover Brooklyn. Not
it's
just
got the potential.
Live.
It does. The potential to be better than SummerSlam.
Absolutely. I'm really hype that they made that the title match a ladder match.
That'll be fun. Because
Kevin Steen back in the day was him and Generico were the kings of those matches. So if he can bring 1/10 of that stuff, because I know most of the stuff that they did in Ring of Honor and PGW or PWG rather, they're not going to let him do in WWE necessarily. So I'm hoping he brings some of it, so we give people a taste of what it is he can do. Because he is, despite the fact that they had Randy Orton call him fat on TV, the man's in shape. He's physically fit. He's just, has a different body type. Like Samoa Joe. He's just, big boned. Can't blame somebody for being big boned.
I'm actually excited to see Bayley capture the NXT Women's title.
Oh, yes.
That's happening. That's happening.
Yeah.
Wait, what's happening?
Well, the match is happening. We don't know if the title switch is happening.
If there's a title switch, Charlotte's winning the title.
Shit. Now, what's the odd match that kind of sticks out to me as strange is that they're bringing in Liger to have a match with Tyler Breeze. I'm
excited about Liger.
You would have to assume Liger is coming in to put him over.
Right. I heard something earlier today that WWE or NXT was going to do some working agreement with New Japan or something like that.
I feel like I heard something about that too. Yeah.
That would be a nice little thing to bring guys in and out, like they do with Liger, because Liger's one of those guys that people of our generation will remember for sure, and then maybe the younger generation might not know him, but he's got the costume, he's got all the the gimmicky stuff that is gonna that'll catch on. So
and with the network, you can
and
everybody's knowledge up.
What if they produced? It would be nice if they produced a little Jushin Liger thing to air on the network. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. Who knows? Maybe that's the plan. But I like where they're going with this NXT thing. It's amazing that the company that you don't want to watch for 3 hours on Mondays does a really good job of like one thing a week. Like that NXT program is like the boss program to watch, no pun intended. And then you're just like, unless it's a week like this where you actually enjoy all 3 hours, you're usually like looking at the clock, waiting for, oh God, is it really only 9:25?
Yeah, right.
I can't wait to see what Triple H does with the main roster when he finally gets control.
We'll see. That's a big question mark. I know he's going to hand it over eventually, but they always say that Vince McMahon's going to be that guy that they're going to have to scrape him off his desk when he croaks. So.
Well, I mean the man's going to probably be buried in his office or somewhere in the headquarters.
Oh, could you imagine?
He'll be an urn hanging out in the lobby, looking over the building.
They'll stuff him like a grizzly bear and have him just be in the lobby looking over every.
They'd have him bronzed and put him next to that fucking Andre statue.
Dude, that's very possible.
What? Could you? They bronze him and put that yellow ass jacket on him and he used to wear.
He'll be like Walt Disney.
Yeah.
Because his head. What ride is it? The hotel one. The Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
There's an urban legend that his head is one of the heads in the Tower of Terror.
That's funny.
It's actually one of them they say that one of them actually isn't his head. The way that the urban legend originated is that one of the faces that's like one of the ghost heads does resemble him. Not confirmed that it was designed after him, but it resembled him.
I can confirm that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
See? But you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, no, it's not actually his head, guys. And then there was my favorite is the one that his head was frozen. You heard about it? The rumor. There's a rumor that his head is cryogenically frozen, and because he had so much money, he had his head frozen, and he wanted to get thawed out when they could, revive him. So
that's pretty funny.
Well, they did a play on that on Family Guy, and then
as soon as he said head frozen, I'm like,
Walt Disney was a known anti-Semitic. So they did this thing on Family Guy where they got him out of the cryogenic thing, and he's like, "Are the Jews gone yet?" And they're like, "No." He's like, "Put me back in." I'm like, oh my God!
Didn't another show do that where he went crazy and started eating little Hispanic kids? Like I just remember seeing him as like this robotic terror, and I cannot pinpoint what it was from.
Sir,
maybe it's a Futurama thing, because Futurama did a lot of that with the cryogenic heads of like.
It wasn't Futurama. It was present day. It wasn't Futurama.
Oh God. All right, so for all of you who want to absolutely put yourself on the terror watch list, be sure to Google anti-Semitic Walt Disney eats Hispanic children.
That would do it. In fact, I'm right on. I put myself right on it for saying it.
There you go. We're all being watched now. Wonderful. So
SummerSlam.
Yeah, SummerSlam is weird right now because
I remember it was Robot Chicken.
Robot Chicken makes perfect sense.
That makes sense.
We have a bunch of tag matches. So Teddy Long is somewhere smiling with joy. But I don't know. I don't know what else we have. What do we have? What are we doing? We have Brock Lesnar and Undertaker. We may or may not have a championship match. We may or may not have John Cena. We could have Randy Orton in there instead of John Cena, or we can have one of the triple threat guys in there. It could be a four-way match. Who the fuck knows? And then we got 4 tag team matches.
WrestleZone had a report if it wasn't John Cena, it would be a triple threat with Sheamus and Randy Orton.
Right, and that's why they kind of set that up on Raw, having Sheamus cost Orton the title.
Just in case Cena can't make it.
Right. The plan B, if you will.
And you got the Divas, too.
Right, the Divas.
The triple threat
elimination match. Yep.
I really wish they would let these girls wrestle and not have to do the tag team matches.
Yeah.
And not only that, Nikki should be defending the damn title.
They wanted to break.
Yeah, they wanted to break that record.
But you know what? At the end of the day, that record, whether they want her to break it or not, doesn't matter. It's just the Divas title. It's not the women's title.
Yeah, but they look at it differently. Their Divas title is their women's title now, and they want that record broken, and that is the only reason why she still has.
But they're doing it out of pettiness.
Of course they are.
CM Punk thing.
Of course they are.
The fact that it's all fake.
We're talking WWE.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
They can get.
Like, it's a fake record that they fake put on somebody. Like, they decided.
No, it is. You're right. It is. But I'm still, in my opinion, the prestige is with the women's title and not the Divas title.
I give you that.
I agree with you.
I
don't disagree with you.
The Divas title is garbage, but get over it.
And it looks like a fucking butterfly.
It does.
It looks like a breadstick.
It
looks like something that should be on a breadstick.
Aesthetically, it should look, different, but whatever.
Right.
Nobody's disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
No, it's.
But it is what it is.
I'm in denial, man. I'm in denial.
Are we
Just wait
technically?
until they come out with the Divas tag titles and they look exactly like that with fucking butterflies on them.
Oh my lord!
No, what if they
about that too?
What if the Divas tag? Yeah, because there have been rumors of them making a Divas tag division.
Which I'm not necessarily against. I think that's actually a great
me
idea.
neither.
Remember the Jumping Bomb Angels?
Yes. They never defended those things though.
You need a few more teams though, or else you're gonna have the same issue that you have in the tag division. You have one champion and no challengers.
Yeah, and then if it's team bad, I hope it's like the tag team is like Naomi and Tamina, and Sasha goes for the singles, because I think Naomi's just a terrible heel.
She is.
It's almost more humorous with her as a heel than as a face with the stuff she's doing, and her song is annoying.
Now, I want
At least it's not Brie mode.
Oh, you had to say
Earth Debris, you're not your husband.
You
Stop
had
with
to
the
say it. You had to say the B word.
I did.
Oh, God.
She's got to stop doing those kicks, man.
She's no good at them. She's
not.
She got the crowd into it.
Stop it.
Her and her shriveled up little crippled troll of a husband should just go build mud huts in the fucking American Southwest for the rest of their lives.
Now.
Go do what you want to do.
I can see them doing that.
Okay, I have something that I think would gross everybody here out in terms of the women's tag team division, and I just want to hear the audible groan when it happens. The Divas tag team title belts are each a wing of the butterfly, and when they put them together, it makes a full butterfly.
Ugh.
What if they...
Oh, stop.
It would be so bad, it would be good.
There would be riots in the streets.
Eric just threw up a little.
Honestly, I think it would be so bad, it would be just great.
And then the New Day would have to win them.
It sounds like something they would do, though.
I could see Vince doing that.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
What are women like? Butterflies.
We're gonna have this butterfly when you put them together, forms the full.
Let's put the Powerpuff Girls on
What
it, or Hello Kitty or something.
What if it had a mechanism so when they touched, then the wings started... It like lit up. It like lit like there were LEDs, and it's just...
Oh my God! Don't give them ideas, man.
I shouldn't say this stuff because then it's gonna happen.
Hey, Vince, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Have you you're familiar with Lucky Pro, right?
Yes.
How about the ring announcer, Adam Salzer?
Don't think I'm familiar with him. Why?
Because he just sent me a request. He wanted to know if I wanted to sponsor some of his podcast episodes.
Oh, okay.
So he has a name of the show. I'm trying to see where I saw that, but
Lucky Pro Wrestling is doing a show this Saturday in Massachusetts, but it's at noon, and I don't get out of bed until like 11:30 on a Saturday. So...
Those days ended a long time when I had kids.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to enjoy them before that happens, if it happens. I don't know.
Hey, join me in the No Kids Club.
Right, me and the girlfriend have had conversations both ways, so.
Oh, boy. Best of luck.
It's not happening, trust me, it's not happening anytime soon, so, don't
there always could be a surprise.
No, there can't. You know what it could be? There could be a ride down the stairs in the basement.
Hey, what's that down the stairs?
No, what is the swerve
I'll do Bree's shitty kicks. Wait, what?
What is the swerve that might happen in SummerSlam? Like, what's going to be the one thing that makes SummerSlam stand out?
The swerve is that Brock Lesnar turns heel and joins the Authority. Triple H pedigrees The Undertaker so we can have another one of their boring-ass fucking matches at WrestleMania. No, I'm just kidding. The matches at WrestleMania weren't that bad. I like the Hell in the Cell the best, I think. But that might be it. They just might... Because if The Undertaker goes over clean, it doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help The Undertaker because it doesn't erase a win at WrestleMania. A win at SummerSlam doesn't erase a loss at WrestleMania. It just doesn't do it that way. That's not how any of this works, according to Esurance commercial. But if he comes in and loses and just loses clean, that really... Well, Brock already beat him. What's the point? If something happens in the match where Brock... what if Heyman turns on Brock and helps The Undertaker win, or what if, the Authority comes out and...
It's almost like a lose-lose.
it's really I don't see any good way out of this match. That's the problem. In terms of swerves, that it's that or there's a turn in the title match, but Cena's
not
not
a turn with the Wyatts.
Yeah, they're saying Ambrose could turn on Reigns or Reigns could turn on Ambrose. I don't want either of those things to happen, honestly.
I don't want either of those things to happen either.
I'd be more inclined to have a third member of the Wyatt family make an appearance or something.
Right. Well, what's the deal with Ryback now? Is he back? Like back?
Yeah, it seemed like he was on Raw, so...
Yeah, he's going to have the match with Big Show and Miz for the IC title.
Dude, did you see I mean, his leg must have looked better last night, but there was a picture he posted on Instagram a couple days ago, and that thing was infected.
That was probably an older picture just to make it more surprising that he came back on Raw.
You know what's interesting, though? Like, Ryback had a staph infection, but wasn't that one of the things that CM Punk had?
Yep.
That was the big thing that CM Punk was complaining
about. And they're making it a big deal now, but then, like, I don't know. It's a little weird. Not that I'm not taking Punk's side necessarily. I'm just saying. You know,
I think they're smacking Punk with it because they're suing the doctor's suing them because Punk claimed negligence.
Right.
So they're going, hey, look, we're taking care of this with Ryback.
Yeah.
So in terms of swerves, I think those are the only spots. They're like 2 or 3 spots where it could happen.
And if there is a Sting appearance, I think it's going to be on Raw, not at SummerSlam.
Yeah, it's not going to be at SummerSlam.
Oh, that's right. Sting could or couldn't show up, or maybe.
I feel like Taker's going to make some kind of announcement on Raw the next night saying, "I think I might be done. I've done what I had to do," and then Sting says, "You got to do one more thing, and me," or something like that. I don't know.
You got to do me. Speaking of do me, the Submission Sisters.
Yeah, the Submission Sorority,
whatever the hell. That went over like a fucking lead balloon.
Bang Bros is sending Vince McMahon a gift basket because of that.
Don't you fucking Google this shit first?
I mean, don't you have a person that does that research?
There should be one guy
that fucking work there. This should have been caught. Like
Joey Styles is on the internet all day.
Somebody got fired.
Somebody should be able to Google this shit, man.
I promise you, as director of marketing and research for TagMeADate, I will not allow that to happen. I will not allow that to happen.
Why wouldn't you? You're on the internet. I'd rather have you guys associated with a porn site than those 3 lovely ladies there.
Make a little bit more sense.
Hell yeah, baby.
See, there you go.
Hell yeah.
Hook up with like Pornhub or something.
That just makes me laugh. That's one of the funniest things I've heard.
But you would have to think, okay, we're going to announce this name on the air. As soon as we announce that name, everybody's going to pull their phone out and fucking type it into their Internet Explorer or whatever, or Safari, and they're just going to search for it. Let's see what happens. Like, come on, guys. Like this.
Do your search before you.
It's a multi-million-dollar company, right? Multi-million dollars. There's a lot of people that work there. There are like 2 big buildings about an hour away from me with a lot of people working. Not one guy went on to their computer and Google.com.
They're currently hiring for that position.
They must be. Googler. Like, come on, I'll do that job. How hard could it's? And just run it by somebody, because honestly, if you go, hey man, I'm thinking of taking 3 girls and putting them in a stable called the Submission Sorority. What do you think? And I say, it sounds like a lesbian porn. Maybe you should rethink that. Like, that's the first thing I would even say before you even told me that it already existed as pornography. It sounded like pornography.
What if it was Vince who came up with it and no one wanted to tell him, hey, that's kind of sounding like porn? I love it.
Well, then,
it does sound like a Vince name.
Now, if this was the Attitude Era, they'd be all over that shit.
Right.
Oh yeah, they would roll with it.
They'd be promoting The Godfather right now.
They would have they would be having a 6-person tag team match against 3 of the Submission Sorority girls from the website, just like they did with that pillow fight with the Miller Lite girls.
I mean, look, they did have Jenna Jameson.
It's worth their $9.99 a month for that.
In one of the Val Venis vignettes, they had Jenna Jameson with him. at one point.
That's right. I remember.
They totally
You
should
should really follow
crossover.
Val Venis on Facebook. Do you follow Val Venis on Facebook?
No.
I follow him on Twitter, probably.
He's an interesting character. I'll leave it at that. He's got some very controversial political opinions, and it's always nice to see him get people riled up. So
Actor, director?
I think so.
Up right now.
Because I
always
friends
liked
with
him
him under
in the
his
ring. I
shade.
thought he was a solid hand in the ring.
No, I love Val Venis should have been. I mean, the porn star gimmick obviously it holds you back to a certain
It's
extent. But he should have
limited.
been a top guy. He had the IC title for a while. That's
He
about
was a
as far as
solid
he got.
technician. I think he was good in the ring.
Absolutely.
This
Oh,
leg
wow.
is Christmas. This leg is New Year's. Come and meet me in between the holidays.
I love his Rubik's Cube comment, too.
Which one? What was that one?
Yeah, the Big Valdoski is a lot like a Rubik's Cube. The more you play with it, the harder it gets.
Yeah, I don't
One of
think
my
they can get
favorites.
away with that on TV.
One of my favorites.
Seth Rollins called those guys jerk-offs last night.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
I'm sure he got in trouble for that one.
Somebody got fined a few $1,000s for that one.
You can't say jerk-off on television.
Orton goes, Kevin, did you gain some weight? No.
I love that that's the response, though. That's good.
Kevin Owens is so nonchalant about it, so it's like, whatever.
Yeah, he made it not a big deal, which is good. That hour kind of flew by.
It did.
We made it all the way through.
Made it through my first one.
Efficiently. Yes, you made it. It's you've popped your no.
Pop my wrestling podcast cherry.
Oh,
Well, we
man.
are on that kick right now. So.
Well, apparently so. So good. Well, what do you think overall? What was your experience like, Ryan?
Oh, it was great. I can't wait for next week if we're doing
Excellent. Well, towards the end of the show, we give everybody a chance to, give their final thoughts. If there's something that you want to say, something you didn't get a chance to say earlier in the show, or maybe something you just thought of. Free space now. So go ahead, Ryan.
I can't wait for NXT and SummerSlam. Hopefully the go-home show's good.
Yeah.
But other than that, let's see how wrestling goes for the week. Hopefully no one else dies.
Yes, that would be. Yeah. Let's keep it that way. Eric, how about you?
Tag me a date. There's some new things on the site. Obviously new things coming up too, but what you can see now is our video with JR and our little video with Jason Carrion promoting us as well. And like I said, big things popping, little things stopping.
Nice. Laser.
All right, well, I looked up submission sorority, and they got 3.6 stars out of 5. So I wanted to say that.
It got 3 what?
3.6 stars out of 5 as a movie. It's a movie.
So it's not that.
Sorority is a movie.
It got 3.6 stars out of 5. That's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
like a solid B+, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Well, we know what Stu will be doing after this.
Oh, man.
Not been sleeping. Sign up for TagMeADate. Make Steve some money finally. And to quote Roddy Piper, I came here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
That's right. And how about you, Steve?
Yeah, so TagMeADate. We've got some great things on the way. As Eric said, we have some updates to the homepage. Location searching. We're almost ready to do a test pilot in the Northeast. So stay tuned for that. There will be an announcement. So we got some great things on the pipeline. We have some new sponsorship deals that we made. One with ImmortalSeats.com. You could buy your sporting event tickets with them, and we are now a proud sponsor for them. And two young guys that you know real well, the K-Man Connection from Northeast Wrestling.
Yeah.
We are now the official sponsor for them, so we're very excited to have them on board and supporting TagMeADate. We support them. You want to talk about the future of this business. you got two young talents there that really got a shot at being the future of this business. So we're excited to be with them. Opportunities keep coming our way, so we're super pumped. And we'll see you next week.
Excellent. Yes. Before we go, once again, thank you to the TagMeADate.com crew. They're always, accommodating for this kind of stuff and always making big changes on the site and contributing to the podcast and sharing all this stuff. My little soapbox for this evening will be twofold. One, Lay's do me a flavor or do us a flavor. West Coast truffle fries wins by a razor-thin margin, in my opinion, over the Reuben. Third place is what was the other one? I know the last one's gyro. I didn't really dig. Oh, biscuits and gravy. Biscuits, gravy, and gyro weren't really. You neted to eat a lot of them to get the flavor.
Biscuits and gravy made me a man.
Biscuits and gravy. Just reminds me of Jesse and Festus. But one other thing that I want to touch on very briefly. There's a news article going around Facebook, and you might see videos people sharing of this promotion in Georgia called APW, and they have a children's wrestling division. And by children, I mean these kids are like not even like 10, 12 years old. It's fucked up. They have a couple 16-year-old girl wrestlers, and they call them the APW Knockouts. That's really fucking creepy too.
How's that even legal?
Well, they're investigating that right now, and I think it makes the whole business look bad. There's even promos where they have the adult wrestlers interacting with and kicking the crap out of the kid wrestlers. Like one of them, the guy like slams the kid and then like throws him into a pool, and like it's fucked up stuff, man. And I think the person who runs the promotions, like I don't want to say this and then get sued, so I will not say that this is confirmed. But from what I have heard, there is talk that the person who runs the promotion or somebody involved in the promotion is a fucking diddler. And I hope that, I said earlier that I don't wish cancer on anybody, but if you're running a wrestling promotion to entice young kids, I hope you get ball cancer and die. So that's,
I mean, I hope he's not like Jared trying to give someone a $5 footlong.
Oh no! Wasn't ready. Oh, but wow, yeah, I just don't. We went right there, but no, it's just not cool. Kids wrestling is one thing because if it's in a safe environment and they've got supervision of a trained professional and not like some guy who got paid $20 to bounce on a fucking trampoline for 10 years. If they actually had a real-ass wrestling trainer, I would have no problem with it. I know there are some promotions in Connecticut that do it, and they get a little bit of a mixed response, but in my estimation, as long as as many safety precautions as possible are being taken, as long as the kids aren't taking fucking power bombs and tombstones and shit like that, keep it simple. Do chain wrestling, make them take back bump stuff, easy stuff. Sure, get them, doing something athletic. That's great. I don't want to see kids, looking under the ring apron for a fucking steel chair. That's just not what I want to watch. So that was my little soapbox, but once again, TagMeADate.com. I would play the Hartzell commercial, but my iPad died and it has the commercial sound effect on it, so I will just try and do my best Hartzell. TagMeADate.com is the only, I repeat, only dating site specifically for wrestling fans. They've got about 7,000 users and growing every day. I know that number's probably a little outdated because I heard that about a month ago. I'm assuming they've got more than that now. So join the Legion here. Join up on TagMeADate.com. Your first month is free. There is no risk. You can cancel, whenever you want. So give it a shot. I'm in a relationship now, but back when I wasn't, I was looking on the site, and I mean, it works really well. It's a nice little site. Give it a shot. That's really the only thing I can say about it is just go to TagMeADate.com and sign up. It's like 2 clicks. I think you can even sign up with Facebook, right? You can like log in with your Facebook account.
That's how I signed up.
Beautiful. See, so it's not even a hard thing to do. It would be worth your time if you're looking for somebody. So once again, as they say, make wrestling night your date night at TagMeADate.com, and your first month is free. I'm your host, Vince Barry, on behalf of everybody here. We didn't even get to the fucking Northeast Wrestling shows. We had so much shit to talk about. We will talk about those next time because they were off the hook. We had so much stuff to talk about. We have more to talk about next week. Congratulations, Ryan, for coming on board, breaking in the newbie here. Thank you to Eric, Stu, and Steve. I'm Vince, and we will see you all next week on the War Report.